Hey there. If you're feeling depressed, emotionally overwhelmed, or just freaking out and want to run away, whether it's your career, home life, society, or the entire world, what if that meltdown was actually a spiritual awakening? Tune in to discover what on earth is going on. As a highly sensitive soul, you might often feel torn between your emotions and beliefs and the expectations in your life. I used to be too. And this internal conflict can lead to burnout and feeling stuck in the muck. But the good news is that you're not going crazy. I'm still here. I did it. You could actually be going through a key astrological transit in your life. These transits occur at turning points around 30, again at 40, and then again at 50, approximations. And learning about these critical junctures through your birth chart actually creates a map to your inner world. I want to welcome you to Zodiac Sophia. My name is April, and I have been a spiritual researcher and astrologer for over 30 years. And as a researcher and astrologer, I've walked through all three rites of passage. Today I'm going to show you how to help you to make your life make sense. So, I am a teacher and a guide for helping highly sensitive souls find emotional and spiritual empowerment. I'm on the other side of my Chiron return now, and I couldn't have done it without the awareness and guidance of our starry skies, the grounding and healing received from Mother Earth, solar rhythms, and the wisdom passed on from so many great spiritual teachers. So, we have three major rites of passage, okay? We have the Saturn return, the Uranus opposition, and the Chiron return. In tropical astrology, the most commonly used form in the Western world, Saturn return occurs around the ages of 28 to 30. Uranus opposition occurs between the ages of 38 to 42, and then the Chiron return around 49 to 51. But tropical astrology divides the sky into 12 equal 30-degree segments, not the actual constellation size. I believe that true sidereal astrology is more accurate because it follows the actual sky in real time and not a map frozen 2,000 years ago. Okay, and since the constellations are all different sizes, Virgo is huge, Scorpio is tiny. The timing and duration of these life passages change. So if you want to learn more about true sidereal astrology, I've linked some information for you in the description to check out after this video. But here's how true sidereal astrology affects each planetary rites of passage. The Saturn return occurs between the ages of 38 to 42, 27 to 32, 27 to 32, got it? Since the constellations are different sizes, Saturn may return earlier or later depending on where Saturn was when you were born. So if Saturn was in a large constellation like Virgo or Cancer, it might take longer to return. If it is in a small constellation like Scorpio or Aries, it might come sooner. So instead of a fixed window like 28 to 30, as in tropical, your Saturn return can span from 27 to 32, depending on your true sidereal chart. So this is good to know. Uranus opposition occurs between the ages of 39 to 45. Why? Uranus moves slow. It takes its time through the constellations. This midlife wake-up call can hit anywhere between the ages of 39 to 45, depending on the size of the constellation, remember, and its retrograde motion also to be taken into consideration. So the Chiron return then comes between the ages of 49 and 53 plus. Chiron has a weird orbit, fast in some signs, super slow in others. It can spend just over a year in Libra, but over 8 years in Pisces. That's what I have. So let's dive a little deeper and unpack the first Saturn return, the Uranus opposition, and the Chiron return. So the Saturn return asks us to be fully rooted, safe, and secure. And it brings focus to our home, to our career, our family, our relationships. Saturn teaches us about responsibility and rules, foundation and form, and stability and structure and discipline and duty. It's about having firm boundaries, the ability to focus. It's the keeper of time. But Saturn doesn't always come easy. It can feel like constriction, depression, rigidity, bitterness, fear. It's the heavy crossroads and the tough choices, y'all. But Saturn doesn't show up to push or to punish. It shows up to push, It wants us to succeed, which we can do if we're willing to do the great work, okay? So from a physiological perspective, Saturn actually governs the skeletal system, the bones, and our teeth. And this is the very structure that holds us up. So Saturn gives us structure, stability in our physical body. Otherwise, we would not be able to stand or walk or even chew our food for that matter. Okay, now this is important to take note. The planets aren't doing anything to us. They're not pulling the strings. They're like outposts. They're here to guide us on our evolutionary path. We are the ones creating our lives. We get to choose. We respond. The greatest teachings that we learn from Saturn are authenticity, humility, endurance, success, wisdom, maturity, and patience. It's about showing up for what life brings and stepping fearlessly into our power and aligning with our purpose. When Saturn energy goes too far, though, it gets out of balance, and then it can become depressing, domineering, corruption in systems, and control issues, whether that is in your home, your work, or the world. So if you feel oppressed, restricted, or imposed upon during your Saturn return, or any Saturn transit for that matter, it's a powerful time to start exploring natural law. This is a huge part of what the solar alchemy is all about here at Zodiac Sophia. We observe the natural laws, the highest cosmic laws of solar energy through the zodiac. We start to heal from the inside out, and then we can reshape the world around us. It starts from within. Okay, so once we've settled in, built the life, and juggled all the responsibilities through Saturn, Uranus comes in and shakes the ground beneath us. We've taken on a great many tasks with Saturn. But have we grown too stiff, too stern, too serious from all of the societal conditioning even? Uranus electrifies what Saturn calcifies. It's the great awakener, the revolutionary, the freedom lover, the individualist, and the inspirationist. It is the catalyst for liberation. This is the classic midlife crisis, but it doesn't have to be a breakdown, a meltdown. It can be an awakening. You call it menopause, but it is the fire of your soul, calling you to wake, shake, and quake. It's the aha moment, the lightning inside, where suddenly you question everything, including authority. But more importantly, we are called to cultivate inner authority, so we can reclaim our consciousness and liberate ourselves. This is our birthright. Uranus governs the electrical system of the body, the Kundalini system, the sleeping serpentine energy that is at the base of the spine, and it starts to awaken. This is where the energy travels through the body, up through the spine, clears out any blockages in the meridians or chakras. But if Uranus energy runs wild, gets out of balance, it gets unchecked, it can lead to chaos, physically or emotionally. And this can manifest as restlessness, recklessness, unchecked libido, rebellion without cause, or a full-on rejection of responsibility or moral grounding. The key to this passage is about choosing transformation over reaction, slow down, awakening over escape. Chiron is the bridge to the outer planets. That's coming now, after all of that. It is a planet, it's a cosmic key, whatever you want to call it. It helps us connect to the higher realms after Saturn and Uranus. Chiron is here to usher in the 13th zodiac sign Ophiuchus, the ascension process. If you want to learn more about Ophiuchus, check out my video, Peace with Polarity. Chiron is known as the wounded healer, and with the Chiron return, we take a deep dive into healing through our personal and ancestral wounds. And through this energy, we begin to embody the healer within and strengthen our inner life force. In mythology, Chiron was the teacher of Asclepius, the god of healing. And Asclepius is also known as Ophiuchus. So we have to clear out the pain if we want to step into our divine, powerful, full spectrum, sovereign human beingness that we have within. Chiron is the path of healing through the integration of the fragmented self. This is a time to retrieve those lost aspects of the soul that occurred during any pain or trauma we've had in our life. It asks us to confront and transmute pain on a personal and collective level so we can reclaim our spiritual sovereignty, our heritage. If we're aware of these three key life passages, the Chiron return becomes a powerful phase to accelerate our evolution and heal our body, mind, and spirit. We get to review our life without judgment, shame, or blame, and acknowledge what we've survived and recognize what we may have inflicted upon ourselves or the other. So we take responsibility and release it. This, my friends, is how we learn to forgive ourselves and others, because we're all here to learn, to grow, and to turn our wounds into wisdom. Let's turn those wrongs into rights through authenticity and reclaim our innate healing power. With Chiron's medicine, healers heal themselves so they can help others heal too. So, to sum it up, the three major passages are like this. Saturn return is the physical crisis. Then comes along the Uranus opposition. This is the emotional crisis. Chiron return is the consciousness crisis. It is the mind, the soul, the higher self. So we have planes, dimensions, layers, even multiple energy bodies and chakras. It's time to start exploring these facets of the self, how our energy runs through the body. We'll do that here in Zodiac Sophia. But if you'd like to see your true sidereal astrology chart, take a look at the free chart calculator on Mastering the Zodiac, and I'll leave the link below. So, you want to check out and see what house and sign you have your Saturn, Uranus, and Chiron in. And I'm very honored to share this information with you, and I hope it inspires you to look deeper into the meaning of your birth and your life, to become curious about the great mystery of being human. If you have any questions or insights, please share them in the comments below. Thank you for being here. The next video will be about the solar alchemy of Gemini. It's coming on June 20th. Make sure you subscribe, because I will also be releasing a special series that explores the basics of true sky astrology. That is the planets, the signs, and the houses, okay? So God bless, and much love and healing to you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.